might think that I'm trying to be nice, but honey, let me tell you what I don't want to do is what I'm doing right now, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I had to pass this test. I'm not repeating this course. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
and if somebody's watching you and you don't know it, and you probably it's a possibility that you would never know who it is that is watching you, but that helps them make their decision.
Yeah.
That helps them decide if they want to be a Christian or not. And I
right.
know really sounds lame, but it's really true because a lot of people that are non-Christians, they're non-Christians because they don't like the way the Christians act, and they don't know um, that if they get into their Bible, they will learn, and they could come into the kingdom. They just look at like you say, they say they just hypocrites. They say it is. They try to be nice, but they really like this. They really like that. So that's why we cannot conform to the world. We have to be transformed. We have to be transformed to the kingdom. When we come out of the world into the kingdom, it's a lot we just don't do. A lot we just don't say. A lot of places we just don't go.
And might not necessarily because you might not. It might not because you don't want to do it.
Exactly.
It's because you just don't do it.
Because you don't do it because of who you are. Because the more you read this word, the more you will be transformed. And the more you transform, the more it's going to show in your personality. It's going to show in your work ethics. It's going to show in your relationships. It's going to be showing in all facets of your life. So, and then people is always watching people. And that's how other people realize, okay, there is a God.
Right.
You know,
and there is a lot of times I've heard people say that the only Christianity that these people in the world see is you.
Is you
and
and
your
it's,
life.
Yeah.
It's exactly
And
right.
how you respond and your reactions and how you come through this, and they are watching.
Exactly.
Because they're not coming to church on Sunday morning and hearing the sermon.
No.
So you are the church.
Right. You have to live.
Like you literally are the church to them.
Yep. And it's just like with our children. When we're raising our kids, especially just think about this: an infant comes home from the hospital with the mother, with the parents. An infant, the infant is learning everything it possibly can because that's how it learns. You can be American, speaking English. You can have a baby and give it to a Spanish couple, and the Spanish couple raise the baby. The baby gonna speak Spanish. It's simply because the baby's gonna learn what's around it, even though the baby parents are American and they speak English. So they absorb everything around you. So even then, sometimes we wonder, I don't know where my kids get this from. They got it from you, is where they got it from. You don't want to admit it, but they got it from you because you're the one raised them. Right. You're the one had them. And I hear a lot of people say, I don't want my kids in daycare. I don't want my kids here. I don't want my kids there. I don't want my kids there. I don't want them in public schools. I don't want this. I don't want that. And their children are tyrants.
They worse than the people in the.
They worse than the kids in daycare. They worse than the kids in public school. They are tyrants. What I'm saying is, we want this, but we have to be transformed to be able and live it so they can live it.
Right.
They only gonna live and know what we teach them, and it's not what we teach them verbally.
Right.
It's what they see. It's what they.
Yeah, it's having that integrity.
How we coping, how we dealing with problems, how we handling other
how
people. How we come, how are we putting God first?
Yes.
How are we putting aside things we'd rather go do and we come to church instead?
Exactly. And how we love our neighbors.
Yeah.
Or how we don't love them.
Yeah. Valid point.
Yeah, so it's really in the home. It really is. You know, just like what's going on in America right now with the politics, you know, with the all this going on, especially the abortion issue. I feel that it would not be an issue in America if it was taught at home. If our beliefs was taught to our children and we live accordingly, then it wouldn't get like this. Right. But it's like this because we're not living that way at home. And then when our kids get out and as they grow up and they pick up other things in the world, then that's when they get like, well, It's kind of like how we was at home, but I mean, all this is not verbal. What it is just how
Actions.
it's just really actions.
Yeah.
And you learn by actions, and you are drawn in by actions. How people react and how people don't, how they react and act.
Mm-hmm.
So I think more of us at home, especially in this era, giving our children, even our babies, more of who we really are, and even explaining to them who Christ really is, and it is the difference, and it is two worlds we live in. It's a kingdom world we live in, and it's a natural world we live in. But we belong to the kingdom, as
Right.
Joshua say, for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Right.
It has to be that kind of thing.
Right. Because just like it says as well that we are in the world, we're not of the world.
Exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, and these back to me, another testimony. Now, with my children, they got that shady side. They did. They got the shady side.
Yeah.
Because I was doing whatever I wanted to do, and we went to church.
Mm-hmm.
We was Christian families. I taught them we was Christians. But when Ayana come along, her and Josiah, they get the real thing because I have been transformed, because I have surrendered my life. So what I'm saying is, what I used to be is what most of the world does. What I'm doing now is what God is calling us into doing at home and bringing up our kids that way.
It's almost like the world nowadays, even when I was a kid, there was more Christian homes. Like there was more, a lot more, just 30, 40 years ago. And now if you are raising your kid in a Christian home that's actually, like you said, like devoted and actually teaching and living it, you're the oddball.
Yeah,
right.
You're the outside. You're the
you're
man
the
on
coach
the
purse.
outside.
Yeah.
You're the coach purse, not the what you call that?
The Birkin purse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's and that's another thing you have to die to your flesh about.
You
too,
do.
especially young people, because you have to make that decision. All young people want to be a part of, they want to be included, and they want to be cool, and they want to be accepted.